Welcome back to Nikki's Scrapbooking Adventures. Today we are playing with the Counterfeit Kit Challenge. Challenge number 1, Somewhat Sketchy. And this is the Cherry on Top Becky Fleck Sketch Challenge from the beginning of September. So the sketch that we are going to be using today is this one. So you can see here, you've got a plain background, you've got a block of paper behind a block of paper, and 2 photos. Well, today I'm going to be playing with 1 photo, and I'm going to switch up the background paper just a smidge. So in my kit, I had some corrugated paper. So what I've done to treat this paper is I took some Vicki Boutin modeling paste, which I will link down below. I took chunks of it. I took my spatula and I just kind of ran it down the corrugation. So the thicker parts are where the modeling paste actually got in between the parts, and then the rest of it just has a light coating on the top, and that's all over. The photo that I'm going to be using today is actually of my desk lamp that I use for videoing and all those kinds of things. It is the one decorative item that I absolutely love and will not get rid of that's on my desk. Sometimes you'll be able to see the little light bulb reflection on my glass mat from it. And I apologize for that. There's not a very convenient way to get it to not do that, because as you can see here in my photo, it is very old. It is very old. And all I did to take this photo is that I have a foam board with this background wood on top of it. This is one of those little plank things from the Dollar Tree. And I tried to get the best lighting that I could. It just wasn't possible. So this is what it ended up looking like, which is fine. I mean, you can see the detail in the top, in the glass. You can see the detail in the base of it. And what this essentially looks like is a flower. And I absolutely love that about this piece. In addition, it's gold, which is pretty cool, or brass. I don't know what exactly color that is, but it is gorgeous. It will never leave my desk. It is old too, and I believe I actually got this from my grandparents. I think. I don't actually know the story behind it. So my journaling is going to be blank for now until I figure out what the story is behind it. But as you can see, what I've done so far is I took a block of paper, and then the block behind this is actually just a solid piece of cardstock in off-white. So I just keep off-white cardstock, and black cardstock underneath my desk in easy access. So I went ahead and took that off-white and put it behind here. Now these blocks measure 5.5 by 9 is this one, and the wider one is 6 by 8. And then I just offset my photo with a black mat to make it nice and pretty. Now I chose the gold because I wanted the gold in my photo to stand out a little bit. And I chose black because I felt like the white would go well against the black, and the off-white kind of reflects this color and makes it stand out more. So those are kind of my choices behind what I picked here. Now let's talk about embellishments. So I'm using my Counterfeit Kit that I showed you in the beginning. And I took one of these white die cuts and made it gold. And that's going to be my base down here. Now, on the sketch, you've got a base here. This is a little bit different because right here there's 2 photos and then a little journaling spot. Well, I'm having to shift everything just a smidge so that I can fit my title, my journaling, and another cluster. So let's finish out that cluster on the bottom here. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay that right out. And these are both from 49 and Market. that pack of embellishments from the Naturalist collection. And then I'm just going to grab one of the stamps, and I'm going to actually leave this black and white. I think that's really striking. So I'm going to have this hummingbird point to the lamp. Now the hummingbird is significant because that is how I think of my grandpa. Whenever I see a hummingbird, I think of him because he had a lot of hummingbird feeders when I was little. So that's a little nod to him. Okay, we're going to jump up and go ahead and take a look at the title. So I took one of those die cuts that was white, and I first used Distress Oxide ink on it in red, and then used gold, and it turned out to be this beautiful rust colored gold, and that's going to stand right here. Now you won't be able to see this too much because the background's almost the same color, but it helps solidify where I'm going to put my title. So my title is going to go right there, Seek and Discover. Now to follow along with the bird theme and black and white, I'm going to go ahead and tuck this one right here. That's just going to be another little nod to my grandpa. And then to bring out, so I've got green and green. To bring out this pink, I've got a little tab I'm going to stick right in there. And that'll actually have today's date, or whenever I made this layout's date on there, because that's when the journaling is going to come from. And I've got a little bit of a brown. Check it out. Okay. So, final cluster is going to be right in this vicinity to replace the journaling that's in our sketch. So I have 3 little dealios here. I've got another makeshift embellishment. So if you looked at my forgery on the 4th, I used the same stamp in the same technique, but first I put the maroon colored dioxide on with just my finger, and then I used some gold wax to cover it, and then my intention was to put a black sentiment on it. So I went to go stamp this, and instead of actually it being black, it lifted some of that metallic gold. I don't know if that's because the gold wasn't quite dry yet when I tried to stamp. I'm not sure. Or if just the stamp itself was so sticky it pulled some off, but I really like how this turned out. This gold is a new product to me, so I don't know exactly the ins and outs of it yet, but I really think that's pretty cool. Where you can kind of see what it says and kind of not. Okay. So then I've got another bird, and I've got the word amazing that I stamped out in fussy cut. So we're going to go ahead and place our bird. Now I picked this bird because it's looking this way even though it's facing that way, so that you can really see this going on. Okay. So the word amazing is going to go right down here to kind of cover what he's standing on and to make it so that things are kind of sideways. And then I'm going to stick this right on top of here, just as a little base. And then the bird's looking at that. And that, my friends, is my page. I'm most likely going to adhere everything down using wet glue. Because this is corrugated and has a texture, I'm going to need that little extra seepage to adhere the two. I don't think AGT will do it and do the job this time. I did use AGT just like on the normal cardstock, which is fine, and I may be able to get away with it with some of these things here. But yeah, kind of different from the sketch, but at the same time getting its influences with the block and where the title is and those kinds of things. Don't forget to check out everybody else who's playing along with the Counterfeit Kit Club and the Facebook group and the blog and all that kind of stuff. I'll go ahead and link everything below. And please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.